digital transformation is actually reshaping how we operate IT, how we manage IT. A lot of businesses today, especially in the pandemic, they're trying to be relevant and they're trying to do more. We used to say the big companies are eating up the small companies, and that's not true anymore. Now what we're seeing is it's more of the fast companies eating up the slow companies. So we hear a lot of examples like Uber, Grab, Airbnb, and all these examples are how we see the world is changing very fast, right? Traditional businesses today focusing on how they can go to market quicker, how they can actually deploy the applications fast in a distributed way with reduced costs and improved security. Now, when we talk about the applications, we always need to understand that applications will drive certain infrastructure choices. Now, when you talk about modern applications, they are more or less a combination of existing traditional applications and new applications that you're building. When I talk to customers, I find that many of them are going through some kind of exercise to decide how they're going to transform their application landscape. Several options, whether it is to re-platform existing applications and modernize it into a cloud-based infrastructure model. The other option is to refactor into microservices or maybe containerizing them, deploying multi-tier hybrid applications, or building completely cloud-native applications from scratch. And the last option, of course, is to replace with a SaaS-based model type of application. So at VMware, we have a solution. The offering is called VMware Cloud on AWS. It is also a hybrid cloud strategy, but it's taking the best of vSphere and the best of AWS and putting them together to provide customers with the best of both worlds, right? And we can also have the choice and flexibility for whether our customers would like to manage their own infrastructure, or on the right side, maybe depend on a partner to manage this hybrid cloud, or in the center where VMware manage this offering called VMware Cloud AWS. So when we ask a number of customers, right, we ask them a question: why was VMC on AWS? What benefits did your company realize? The top 3 answers was our existing customers actually experience speed to cloud. So they can actually consume and put their workloads in the clouds a lot faster, right? Second point is they like the idea of a consistent VMware platform. So there's no retraining, there's no change in consoles or tools. And most importantly, there's no refactoring of applications. They don't have to recode and refactor their applications. So that was also a very high response rate. And the third one, of course, is the responsiveness to needs of business. So a lot of our customers have given feedback that IT is not able to keep up with the business demands, right? So with VMware Cloud AWS, they actually realized that they can actually go as fast as the business demands. So for those customers who want to adopt cloud, right? Cloud migration, data center evacuation, these are the top use cases, right? And followed by disaster recovery or data center extension. So it's kind of these 4 different boxes. It makes sense, especially when we ask in the poll. You're not alone. Many customers around the world are also talking about data center extension. They want to do some migration, but still maintain their data center footprint. And of course, disaster recovery as well. So let's dive in a little deeper, right? Disaster recovery. We see customers are not willing to invest in a secondary data center because having a data center for the customer is a very high cost. And also disaster recovery, you really only use the secondary data center when there's a disaster. So it doesn't make sense financially nowadays. So they would rather have a disaster recovery as a service. And what that means is that if there's a disaster, all your workloads will be recovered in the cloud, right, and brought up, and that's when you start paying. But if there's no disaster, you pay very minimal fee for having the environment available. We are leveraging on one of our key software here called Site Recovery Manager, and that includes capabilities like pre-configuring runbooks. You can set different tiers, and also you can set your inter-VM dependencies to bring up. So this kind of streamlined DR automation is a very popular feature that our customers are looking for. They can run DR drills, they can run DR testing non-disruptively, and also based on hypervisor replication, not storage replication. So we can bring it up very fast. And also things like elastic, consistent cloud infrastructure is on-demand capacity. Second use case is around data center extension. Is for customers who want to actually have an extension to their data center where they can put in their workloads, maybe for example, seasonal workloads. If you are the next Lazada, for example, or if you're a finance company, towards towards the end of the month or end of the year, you need some extra computing power, right? You can actually burst to the cloud and extend your workloads for that temporary period of time. One more example is, you want to sort of maintain your data center footprint, or maybe consolidate some data centers and then migrate to the cloud. So this is also one of the use case that we see. There's no need to refactor or re-architect your applications. You can just decide which applications will be suitable to run on-prem, which application will be suitable to run in a VMware Cloud on AWS environment. Okay, last but not least, of course, is the next gen, like what I mentioned, the ability to provide high bandwidth, low latency to the broad set of AWS services. We can leverage on transformation of applications with Kubernetes. We have our own product called VMware Tanzu Kubernetes Grid, which is a separate portfolio by itself, but it's basically enabling our customers to manage Kubernetes and containers at scale, right? We can have it hosted in VMware Cloud AWS, or you can also leverage on AWS version of Kubernetes. So I'd like to almost come to the end here. Why VMware Cloud AWS? Because number one, our customers are looking for new ways to be faster, but also justify the cost. Migration time, we have seen a reduction from planning of years of migration to months. And on the infrastructure side, we're seeing almost 60% of savings. The data center will still be there, but reduce in footprint and also optimize in terms of operations. And some of the workloads are going to be determined to be suitable to run in VMware Cloud AWS. That's where the savings come from. So we touched on this a little bit more earlier, right? Zero factoring existing skills, maximum flexibility, as well as operational efficiency. So we are seeing all these benefits, and these are real benefits coming from customers. So I'm not going to touch so much on this, but basically we have a team as well working with our partners to help our customers to determine their readiness. To answer questions like, am I ready? What do I need to move? Where do I place my workloads, right? And how do I execute? So step by step, we are there to guide the customers as well, together with the partner, to make sure that you understand, right, whether hybrid cloud is the way to go and whether VMC on AWS will provide the best value for you. So at the end of the day, how can you get ready, right? So the first step obviously is to understand how VMware Cloud AWS will fit into your CIO strategy or your cloud strategy. You can get in touch with us, or you can get in touch with Mastersystem to analyze or to do some total cost of ownership, TCO analysis. And last but not least, for your operation guys, for your infrastructure guys, if you need a hands-on or a pilot or a POC, you want to do a POC period, you can also get in touch with us.